Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network in the American Esports Racing Association Cup Series. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and we are coming to you live from Phoenix Speedway, a 1-mile oval located in Avondale, Arizona, where these drivers will compete for 150 laps. The weather tonight is 84 degrees, partly cloudy. Not expecting those clouds to clear as this one goes on. So that sun should stay pretty well hidden throughout this race. But the track temperature sitting at a whopping 106 degrees. And that is everyone here concerned about tires. We spoke to a few of the drivers last night here at the Rebel Racing Network, and they were concerned about tires, not expecting to see much passing here, but a lot of tire saving as this one goes on. And speaking of tires, the pit rules for tonight's event, these drivers are going to be given 6 sets of tires, only 54% fuel to get this one done. And once again, they will not receive any quick repairs. So if you wreck and you damage that car, you are done for the night. And with that 54% fuel, we are looking at about a pit window of 45 to 48 laps in this one. So they will be good to make it to the end of stage 1, which ends at lap 33. But it'll be close to get to the end of stage 2, which will end on lap 88. And looking at our leaderboard, John Ross currently with the fastest lap, a best time of 26.47. Not a name we've mentioned here recently on the Rebel Racing Network. We're trying to check our notes here, but we do believe he has made it to a couple of the recruitment races, but this will be his first official race with ERA. But definitely going to be someone to keep an eye on. And as time is winding down, we are going to step down trackside for driver introductions. right, and we are back, folks. Qualifying now underway. Currently looking at the 85 of David Joyner. He's been one that we've been keeping our eyes on here at the Rebel Racing Network as he looks to lay down a fast time for his first lap. And Joyner's first time is in 26.69, but Alex Pelican setting the time to beat with a 26.59. So we will switch over to him in that 13 Butcher Box car. And Jansen Geyer saying Hunter Geyer has a nice paint. We're going to have to go check in on that real quick. Alex Pelican get knocked off that pole position by Dawson Price, but Hunter Geyer laying down a fast time, 26.59, sitting in third. And Bookish Bliss and Maeve Manor on that Hunter Geyer car tonight. We'll check in with Tristan Haynes. Seth LaCroix laying down a quick time, 26.432. So LaCroix now sitting on the pole, but here comes John Ross on track. But time is winding down. We do have to step aside for our opening ceremonies presented by Ura Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able. Remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back, folks. They are getting ready to grid up. But before they do, we are just going to run through our point standings real quick as we get those pulled up on screen for you. And currently leading the points race is David Joyner with 110 points. Joshua Edmonds sitting in second with 100 points. Wesley Carter in third with 92 points. Dawson Price currently sits fourth in points with 76 points. And Joseph Miller is going to round out your top five, tied with Nicholas Warner with 75 points going into race 3 of the Era Cup Series. And the drivers are now making their way down to pit lane and getting in their cars. So we're going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid here. And starting on the pole will be the 88 of Seth LaCroix. John Ross will start to his outside in the 44. Rolling off third will be Dawson Price in the 24. Alex Pelican will start to his outside in fourth, driving the number 13. Tristan Haynes will roll off fifth in the 02 car. Hunter Geyer in sixth, driving the 2 car. Josh Edmonds will roll off seventh, driving the 17. Connor Price in eighth, driving the number 48. David Joyner will roll off ninth, driving the 85. Jonathan Dominic's going to be starting to the outside of row 5 in 10th, driving the number 45. Joseph Truskowski will roll off 11th, driving the number 57. Wesley Carter in 12th, driving the number 23. And 13th will be Nicholas Warner, driving the number 3 car. Nick Haynes will roll off 14th, driving the 31. And 15th, we have Benjamin Smith Sr. in the 11. Omar Rodriguez Jr. will roll off 16th, driving the number 92. Cooper Liardi going to start 17th in the 7 car. Joseph Miller in 18th. Eric Rodeman will roll off 19th in the 96. Mike Hill will roll off 20th in the 27. Russell Abbott in 21st, driving the number 4. Dave Mayberry will start 22nd, driving the number 29. Tyler Green will start 23rd in the 10. James Hartley will roll off 24th in the 8 car. Rounding out your field, and the green flag is out. We are off and racing, folks. Seth LaCroix jumping out to an early lead here. Dawson Price looking strong on that inside line. I see Dawson up in the chat letting me know that the second stage ends at lap 82. So looks like we had a little bit of misinformation at the beginning of this broadcast, but that second stage will end at lap 82. First stage ends at lap 33. So we do appreciate the update there, as they've got it sorted out in the top 3. It looks like Seth LaCroix opening up a commanding lead to start this one out. John Ross in second, Dawson Price in third, and they are still side by side. Behind them is Alex Pelican getting by Tristan Haynes there. He will clear him, and that top 5 now single file. And we see the Razdan, or Curtis Stanford, unfortunately going to miss this race, but he is still cheering for his teammates in door-to-door racing. And they are starting to get worked out single file here. And speaking of door-to-door racing, Hunter Geyer down 2 positions on that start. And one of the concerns with this 2 car that we've seen across the Era Series as well as the TCR Series is his tire wear. He tends to burn those tires up very quickly, and it looks like he might be trying to save a little bit of tire for the longer run here. This is Joseph Truskowski looking to the inside of him. Truskowski bringing a fast car to the track week after week, but still unable to get into the top 3 here in the Era Series. We've seen him scrape together a handful of podium finishes back in the Nora days. But here, the recruitment here at Era, they have managed to get together such a strong crop of drivers. And week in, week out, just about anyone in this field has a shot at winning. So now we see Wesley Carter getting underneath Hunter Geyer. Geyer not having the start he wanted here. Update, Nick Haynes has brought it down pit road. Seems like an issue for that 31 car early on here. We go back to the front of the pack. Seth LaCroix, his lead has diminished. Here comes John Ross. And it looks like John may have just been trying to save those tires for that at the beginning of this run, as he's going to look to the outside on Seth LaCroix. And Susan Ramsey entering the chat, rooting for Dawson Price. Dawson Price currently sitting back here in 4th. He's giving up that 3rd position to Alex Pelican. Pelican typically shows speed at the beginning of these races, but as the race goes on, he made it. In the last 2 races, we've seen him drop back as the runs get longer. So we'll see how he does here as Dawson Price thinking about going low on him. Not going to get there, though. And John Ross is there, though, battling Seth LaCroix for the lead. He's not going to be able to clear him that time. He's going to tuck up behind Seth LaCroix and try and pick a time to try again. You see Ross going high off that corner. Trying to carry the momentum there. And Christopher Anthony entering the chat, rooting for Cooper Liardi. Liardi on the move here, up 2 positions from where he started. He currently sits 15th. But our biggest mover so far, this 29 of Dave Mayberry. He is up 4 positions to 18th as we've got another car on pit road. James Hartley, and looks like a lot of left front damage, or I'm sorry, right front damage to that 8 car of James Hartley. Looks like he has had a disagreement with that outside wall. And going back to the battle for the lead, John Ross taking another run at the inside of Seth LaCroix. LaCroix bounces off the inside wall. That is not going to help that 88 out. It looks like it may have caused John Ross to check up there a little bit. He had an opportunity to fly by that 88, but they are alongside each other. And once again, Seth LaCroix getting that run off the high line, getting by back out in front of John Ross. Ross going to pull right back to the inside, though. Looks like LaCroix may have tapped that outside wall yet again. Not a huge hit. Definitely going to have to get out of the gas. Now John Ross getting a nose out. John Ross going to lead his first lap tonight there. And while this battle goes on, Alex Pelican reeling the leaders back in. That gap was over a second before, but now down to only 0.7 of a second as John Ross is going to clear Seth LaCroix. And Alex Pelican sitting back there in 3rd, lurking. He knows those tires have got to be hot on the 44 of John Ross and the 88 of Seth LaCroix, but the caution will come out. Looks like Wesley Carter and Tristan Haynes caught up in this. You see Carter turn around backwards there in turn 2. And some right front damage to that 23 of Wesley Carter. We will take a step back, or go ahead and take a look at this. You see Wesley Carter there. He's worked his way around Joseph Truskowski. Looking to the inside of Tristan Haynes, and it looks like Carter just sent it too hard there. He slides up the track into that 0-2 of Tristan Haynes. I think Tristan Haynes not happy with that one, as pit stops have begun here. Seth LaCroix, our first car down pit road. Looks like most everyone will stay out. And we will go ahead and ride along with Tristan Haynes through this incident. And Tristan Haynes not going to be happy with that. I think after Wesley Carter ended up in front of Tristan Haynes, Haynes could have hit the brakes there. I think he knew his night was done. He's going to make sure Wesley Carter's got some front end damage there. After Carter running him up the track and into that outside wall. So now with Seth LaCroix going down pit road, John Ross is still our leader. Alex Pelican will restart in second. Dawson Price moving up to third. Josh Edmonds in fourth. And David Joyner rounding out your top five as they double them up and we get ready to go back racing. And Donald Bussier entering the chat room for Apex, along with Anita Price. The Apex fans showing up in full force in the chat tonight. As we get ready to go back green flag racing, that pace car is off. John Ross will be in control of this restart. But Alex Pelican, his tires have got to be a little bit cooler than that 44 of John Ross. We're going to see if Pelican has anything for him. And John Ross getting the jump. Alex Pelican was caught sleeping there, it looked like. Did not expect Ross to go when he did. Pelican back to third as Dawson Price is going to take over second. And Alma Graper entering the chat, rooting for Ben Smith Sr. Ben Smith Sr. back up to 15th. He did not have the start he was looking for, but is gaining ground. As Pelican now settles into that third position, and David Joyner and Josh Edmonds going to battle it out for fourth. And He-Man saying his night at Phoenix is done after meeting the wall in turn one. So He-Man's got to be either Wesley Carter or Tristan Haynes. I stand corrected. Wesley Carter and Tristan Haynes both back out on track after that incident. And Seth LaCroix on those fresh tires after coming down pit road. On the move, he works to the inside of Joseph Truskowski. All right, He-Man is James Hartley. Thank you. Trying to figure out who that was in the chat. Now LaCroix back up to fourth. As he got his sights set on Alex Pelican. John Ross still our leader. He has opened up that gap. About a second and a half gap between him and LaCroix. Only 8 laps left in stage one. Can Seth LaCroix battle back and sneak out a stage win? Or is John Ross going to be able to hold him off? LaCroix faster by almost a second than the leaders. But he does have his teammates sitting in front of him now. And Dawson Price blinking out there for a second. Seth LaCroix going to go underneath him. Elizabeth Earhart rooting for Ben Smith Sr. as well in the chat. Checking in with that 11 of Ben Smith Sr. And it looks like he is not feeling good about Phoenix here tonight, currently 16th. Wesley Carter looking to go around him, but LaCroix has taken over that second place position from his teammate Dawson Price. Half a second separating him from John Ross. And only 17 laps on these old tires, but you guys can see how much that tire fall off is going to have an effect here as LaCroix looking to the inside of John Ross now. And we watched these two battle it out for that lead for seemed like about 10 laps. But LaCroix going to make quick work of them here with those fresh tires. And the caution flag will wave. Looks like Hunter Geyer caught up in this. As you see Hunter Geyer there turned around. He's going to get that car back going. It looks like some rear end damage. Maybe got hit in the back there. We'll go back, take a look, and see what happened to that 2 machine. You see Connor Price pulling up on Hunter Geyer. Price going to go to the inside, and it looks like Price going up the track, Hunter Geyer coming down. And they're just going to make contact. Connor Price looks like he's not going to have very much damage. Maybe a little bit of a toe issue though for that car. 48 of Connor Price, pretty quiet here tonight. Normally we see him and his brother Dawson up front battling for position. And we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
All right, and we are back, folks. And with that caution, they will go to lap 33, so this will be the stage break. So no one coming down pit road. Once again, that pit window looking to be about 45 to 48 laps. The next stage break will be at lap 88. As that pace car is going to dive off here. But they're still single file. Looks like they're trying to get some things figured out here. While they get that figured out, just a quick look at the weather. That temperature is cooling off a little bit. It went from 84 degrees down to 82, but that sun is still shining. That track temp is going to stay hot, and it looks like they're just going to throw the caution. Once again, that pace car is going to come back out, and that's going to give everyone the opportunity to come down pit road and get their cars serviced. So Seth LaCroix going to lead the field down pit road. Now the question here is, what adjustments are they going to make on that 88? Is he going to take tires? We know he needs fuel. But only about 10 laps on those tires on that 88. We're going to see if he decides to take just right sides and make sure he gets out in front of the rest of the field. And the right side is up. LaCroix taking the right side tires. And it looks like he's going to go for all four here. John Ross trying to get around LaCroix, but LaCroix going to come second off of pit road. Jonathan Dominics. Looks like he took no tires here. He's going to win that race off pit road. As they've still got to figure some things out with this caution, because Jonathan Dominic's now our leader, but that pace car's gone down pit road. Seems like the pace car driver not in the loop with what era officials are saying. As we look at the pit strategy here, Jonathan Dominic's the only other car in the top 8 to pit with Seth LaCroix on that caution on lap 18. And that decision not to take tires, I don't know if that's going to pay off for that 45 car. So the pace car is off, and that green flag has waved, and it looks like an issue with the iRacing software. Going to mess some things up here. Jonathan Dominic's taken off. LaCroix getting passed by John Ross as well as Dawson Price. Once again, LaCroix also an admin here. Maybe caught up with some admin duties. Trying to get this one figured out, but they are going to let these guys go. As John Ross has gotten to Jonathan Dominic's. Wesley Carter there in the middle of the dog leg. Carter now a lap down. And Dominic's on those old tires. Getting passed by the 24 of Dawson Price. And it looks like an issue for Joseph Miller. Miller slow on the low line. We're going to go take a look, see what happened here. You see Miller trying to hold off Benjamin Smith Sr. Smith Sr. showing some speed there on the low line as he looks to the end. It looks like Ben Smith Sr. got together with the 3 of Nicholas Warner. Joseph Miller going to get the worst of that. So he's going to have to pull that car down pit road. We look back towards the front. John Ross opening up that gap over Dawson Price. Alex Pelican has now moved up to third. Seth LaCroix to fourth. David Joyner to fifth. As Dominic's has continued to drop here on those old tires. And Joseph Truskowski now looking for a way around Dominic's as well. Truskowski trying to hold off that 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Dominic's in the way of Truskowski and Edmonds here. Truskowski's got that low line. Edmonds nowhere to go. And Samson LaCroix entering the chat, rooting for his brother Seth LaCroix now. Glad to have you back here, Samson. As Truskowski's now clear, Jonathan Dominic's. Edmonds going to get underneath him as well. And now the battle for sixth will continue as Joshua Edmonds trying to get back up to that bumper of Joseph Truskowski. The Raz stand saying he dove that in way too deep, and we've got to agree there, buddy. And checking back in with that 88 of Seth LaCroix, trying to reel Alex Pelican back in. Pelican coming up on the lap car of Joseph Miller. Once again, was involved in that incident between Ben Smith Sr. and Nicholas Warner. And checking in with last week's winner, David Joyner, currently sitting in 5th place, trying to close that gap up with Seth LaCroix. Here in stage 2, LaCroix not having as strong as a run as he had hoped. And once again, these guys will need to pit during this stage to make it to the end on fuel. That pit window looking to be about 45 to 48 laps, 55 laps, the scheduled distance for stage 2. But already 2 cautions in, and really an incident that could have been another caution. I think these guys are not even worried about green flag pit stops at this point. And the Raz stands saying he thinks Hunter Geyer is going to have something to say about his incident. And we got to go check in and see if he might be sitting there in the infield care center. He is not available for interview just yet. We will keep you posted if Hunter Geyer does manage to find his way to the booth here. So LaCroix going around that lap car of Joseph Miller. And Turbo 614 saying he is unable to be here. And at the ER, we hope everything is well, Turbo. And going back, checking with our leader, John Ross, opening up that gap over Dawson Price. And with a 2.5 gap between the leader and second place, John Ross can go ahead and take a step back, try and save some tires for the end of this run. So it looks like everyone getting spread out here, with the exception of Connor Price, who was caught. Jonathan Dominic's still on those old tires, and at this point, Dominic's has got to be kicking himself for not taking tires under that stage brake. Connor Price up in the outside wall, trying to find a way around Dominic's. Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to capitalize on that and pass his teammate, Connor Price. Connor Price, that front end of that 48 car definitely looks a little bit scuffed up here. We do have a development here with that 4 of Russell Abbott. Looks like he may have hit that outside wall, some right front damage to him as he's getting ready, or he is just falling a lap down. And checking back in with Seth LaCroix. He is still trying to reel in that 13 of Alex Pelican, but it looks like those tires, he has burned up those tires just trying to hold on to it after falling at the start of this stage. Now a development, Omar Rodriguez and Tristan Haynes battling out for 11th now. Rodriguez clearing Haynes for the time being, but that 0-2 of Tristan Haynes showing some speed here. And Jonathan Dominic still holding off Connor Price for the time being. It looks like those tires might have equalized for Jonathan Dominic's and everyone else sitting outside of the top 10. And Sunk Track late to the broadcast. I want to know what happened to Hunter Geyer. We'll go back and one more look at what went on with Hunter Geyer. Him and Connor Price racing for position here. Connor Price going underneath and Geyer going low, Price going high. Jonathan Dominic sliding up the track there, making contact with that outside wall as he has his sights now set on Dave Mayberry. Mayberry with a strong run so far through stage 2, up 14 positions here. Now 60 laps in the books of the scheduled 150. 28 more laps till the stage break. And Christopher Anthony rooting for the 7 of Cooper Liardi. Liardi having a strong night here. Up 4 positions to 13th and knocking on the door of that top 10. It's Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to come down pit lane. It looks like he may have had an issue there. Omar Rodriguez Jr. getting loose coming onto pit road. So now Rodriguez Jr. going to fall a lap down to that 44 of John Ross. John Ross has caught the rear of the field and has his sights set now on the that is the 77, but I'm not seeing a 77 on our leaderboard here. So if I'm not mistaken, that might be caution. Caution is out. Tyler Green and that 77 ride the Dente as Russell Abbott is turned around here on the backstretch. And Omar Rodriguez Jr. got to be sitting here kicking himself right now for going down pit road. We'll go take a look, see what happened here with Russell. You see Abbott's already got that right front damage. And looks like he just sent it too hard. He gets up into that outside wall and loses control. Got to be terrifying there for Wesley Carter. So we'll ride along with him through this one. Now Abbott cleared Carter. Hits that outside wall. I'm not sure if they make contact here. Oh, Wesley Carter definitely got a piece of that. As those pit stops have started here, it looks like pretty much the entire field down on pit road now. Looks like LaCroix's struggles on pit road are going to continue here. So check in with Omar Rodriguez Jr. It does look like he is going to take the wave round and get his lap back here. So that could have stung a lot worse if Rodriguez Jr. would have fallen 2 laps down, but only 1 lap down. So he's going to end up at the rear of the field. Still going to be frustrating making that decision to come down pit road under green flag conditions. Only to have the caution come out 2 laps later. But our standings, John Ross currently in first, Dawson Price in second. Alex Pelican will restart third. Seth LaCroix will fire off fourth. David Joyner rounding out your top 5. Cooper Liardi moving up to 6th now. And Joshua Edmondson 7th, Dave Mayberry in 8th. Jonathan Dominics will restart 9th, and Tristan Haynes will restart 10th. As that pace car is off, they are doubled up. We'll see if Dawson Price has anything for John Ross on this restart. And the green flag is out. Dawson Price on that high line, not getting a fire off like he wanted to, in trouble back in the pack. And that was Ben Smith Sr. going around. It looks like some heavy front end damage to that 11 car. And it looks like there might have been a checkup, and that's what caused that. And the Raz stands saying door to doors took some hits and they are down but not out. Go back, take a look, see what happened here with Ben Smith Sr. Looks like Ben Smith Sr. just gravitated towards that middle line that wasn't even there and ends up getting turned by Tristan Haynes. He's going to be showing the meatball flag, and it looks like his night is going to come to an end there. Looks like Tyler Green may have had an issue here as well. It looks like Tyler Green just dropped a gear when he didn't mean to and sent himself around. And we are going to step aside for another quick commercial break.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Bird wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubling them up, getting ready to go back racing here. After our fifth caution of the evening, we'll wave on lap 68. That pace car is off. John Ross, our leader, Alex Pelican now to the outside. Dawson Price in third, Seth LaCroix in fourth, and David Joyner rounding out your top five. And that outside line really struggling here on these restarts. Do you see Alex Pelican laying back here? So they come around the corner. Green flag is out. Dawson Price definitely going to get the jump on Alex Pelican here. Price now to second. And those top three going to get it sorted out here. So John Ross already with a commanding lead. Dawson Price moves back to second. Alex Pelican in third. And here comes Seth LaCroix and David Joyner running fourth and fifth. Now approaching halfway in this one. And only 14 laps into... Correction, only 8 laps until the stage break. Once again, lap 82. Dawson Price corrected me at the beginning of the show on that one. And we've got a development here. Battle for fourth. David Joyner looking to the inside of Seth LaCroix. Not quite there. Running that low line. Joyner not going to be able to clear LaCroix. But Alex Pelican trying to close that gap with Dawson Price. And back in the pack, they've gotten spread out, but Tristan Haynes trying to catch back up to Omar Rodriguez Jr. Haynes to the inside of Rodriguez. Omar trying to recover, and oh, that is not going to help Omar as Jonathan Dominics gets into the outside wall. He's going to collect Omar Rodriguez Jr. And not sure what caused that. Did not see any cars around Jonathan Dominics. And looks like this is going to be a self-spin out of that 45. Coming off that corner, he just loses it. Got to the back to the gas just a little bit too fast. Trying to keep that car under control. Some heavy front end damage to him. And checking in with Omar Rodriguez Jr. And you can see that front end damage to that 92 car. So that'll be our sixth caution of the night coming out here on lap 77. And we'll step aside for a another quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. And I made a mistake. I've got to say hello to the fans over on Facebook as well. Did not have that chat pulled up. Welcome to the stream, Irene, Elizabeth, and Donald over here on Facebook and YouTube. Glad to have you watching both, Donald. But that pace car is off. John Ross will lead the field to the green flag here. Dawson Price, you see him trying to get set up for a good restart here as they come off the corner and into that restart zone. Green flag is out. Dawson Price caught sleeping there. He's going to check up his teammate Seth LaCroix as well. And FLK has apologized to Hunter Geyer, so hopefully no hard feelings from the Hunter Geyer camp after his incident earlier on in this one. But Dawson Price battling back here for second. Price is going to hold on to it, but Joseph Truskowski looks like he made a mistake, locked up his brakes. We saw a lot of smoke coming out of that 57 car going into that last corner. As Edmonds now going to get underneath Truskowski. And this is the battle for sixth. Josh Edmonds trying to work his way around that 57. You see Edmonds sliding up the track there. But locking up your tires like that, if you're Joseph Truskowski, that's going to flat spot those tires and work that heat into them. Now he's got the pressure from the 17. Truskowski's got to be careful here not to chew up those tires. And the caution is going to wave. I do believe that was my mistake. That was the end of the stage. So John Ross going to win stage 2. Dawson Price finishing second, Alex Pelican in third, Seth LaCroix in fourth, David Joyner in fifth at the end of stage 2. As we wait for these guys to get set up and those pits to open. And pit road now open. John Ross going to bring it down pit road. And looks like everyone is going to be coming with them. And a few cars staying out. Those are lapped cars trying to get their lap back. So John Ross going to win the race off pit road. Dawson Price in second. LaCroix moving up to third here. It looks like maybe an issue out of that 88 car coming off of pit road. He is checked up, dropping back to 11th. So John Ross will remain your leader. Dawson Price going to maintain second position. Right now, we are showing David Joyner in third, Joshua Edmonds in fourth, and Tyler Green rounding out your top 5. So we try and figure out what happened to Seth LaCroix here. And the lights on the pace car are out. They are doubled back up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. And the pace car is off. So John Ross will be your leader. Dawson Price in second. David Joyner is going to hold on to third. Seth LaCroix will be restarting here in 14th. Not quite sure what happened to that 88 car, but he's going to have to start at the tail end of the lead lap cars. And the green flag is... Oh, John Ross spins his tires. John Ross, a costly mistake here at the beginning of stage 3. He's going to spin his tires and send himself around. We didn't see any contact with that 44 car out of anyone. And that is going to hurt. As they're going to set him back up and try again. And this seems like a good time to talk about. We do have some new developments with Rebel Racing Network. Some new things in the works. If you guys tuned into my YouTube last night, your broadcaster has decided to come out of retirement and make it his return to the track. We ran a couple races at Talladega last night, so we'll be adding those shows to the Rebel Racing Network, as well as over on Twitch at Rebel Gaming on Twitch. Once again, that link is in the YouTube description. We will also be starting a TikTok here that will be coming live here in the next few weeks, and working towards being able to broadcast on TikTok as well. Once again, we do need 1,000 followers on TikTok. So once that is live, I will be letting everyone know and be asking everyone to go follow over on TikTok. And now Travis Neiman in the chat. I want to know what happened to Hunter Geyer. And unfortunately, Hunter Geyer getting together with another car. Gets turned up into the outside wall, and he is out of this one. As they double it back up, we're going to go ahead and pull Hunter Geyer up here into the booth and try and talk to him here. Hunter, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Austin. How you doing, man?
I am probably doing a little bit better than you right now, but there have been a lot of questions about you. Tell us from your point of view what happened there.
So the last caution, I'm not too sure.
Oh, no, your caution, buddy. Travis,
caution?
they're all asking about you.
48 just kind of ran out of talent there, came up into me. And then there, I guess, the green flag dropped, and then someone really checked up hard out of the corner, and I had to slam on my brakes, and that turned me right into the outside wall, and that's where I got the bulk of my damage. So yeah, I'm like 18 laps down now, so it's it's gonna be just kind of nice and easy rest of the night.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to it, buddy.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Austin.
Yep. And once again, that was Hunter Geyer. He is back out on track. We were unaware of that, so we do apologize to him, pulling him up as they're going back green. But Dawson Price, now your leader, Josh Edmonds, showing with a strong showing here, moving up to second as he tries to clear David Joyner. Joyner going to fall in line behind Josh Edmonds now, and here comes that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. And Truskowski, we know how fast he can be. We also know how aggressive he can be. Got to keep an eye on this 57 car. And it seems like the closer he gets to the front, the more aggressive he is. That man wants to win, and he kind of reminds me of that famous Tony Stewart quote. I'd wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom. That is the attitude that man shows up to every race with. But here comes Alex Pelican in that 13, now getting to the inside of Joseph Truskowski, as they are held up behind Joshua Edmonds and David Joyner. Pelican and Truskowski both showing speed. Now Joyner gonna work his way around Edmonds. Edmonds backing out here. Truskowski crossing over to get underneath that 17 of Joshua Edmonds. That could have been trouble right there, folks. And Tyler Green in the ride, the Dente, cracking the top 10 for the first time tonight. He is up to 6th and knocking on the door of the top 5. And I tell you what, running a paint scheme like that, the pressure's got to be on for Tyler Green after Carson Hocevar took the win at Talladega today in the actual Cup Series. As we look back towards the front, Dawson Price has opened up that gap, leading David Joyner by half a second. Price's tire is going to be in better condition after that battle between Joyner and Joshua Edmonds. Here comes Alex Pelican. He made quick work of Joseph Truskowski once they were able to clear Joshua Edmonds. And Susan Ramsey over on YouTube cheering on Dawson Price. Dawson Price continues to maintain that half a second lead, but Alex Pelican showing some speed here. Pelican, he had a fast car at the beginning of this one, but been quiet throughout the race. Now showing that speed. And we're curious about the track, how the track is changing. That temperature still sitting at 82 degrees. It was 84 throughout practice. But shouldn't be any major changes to the track temperature or how these cars are handling throughout this one. This Pelican is there on David Joyner, and Dawson Price. Seems like he is slowing up a little bit. Pelican side by side with Joyner now. And now Alex Pelican going to clear David Joyner. He's going to set his sights on Dawson Price. Dawson opening up that gap ever so slightly. That Price machine has been in a position that he can save tires. Alex Pelican having to work to get up to second. We'll see if he can do anything to close that gap. Once again, these drivers going to need at least one more pit stop to get this done. That pit window is now open. Lap 103 of 150. The pit window being 45 to 48 laps. We keep our eye on Alex Pelican, not closing the gap with Dawson Price at all. John Ross in that 44, though, after spinning on the restart after the stage break. Showing speed here. He has worked his way back up to the top 5. He's to the inside of Joseph Truskowski now. He's also got that 88 of Seth LaCroix in tow as well. Ross has got to be careful here. Truskowski not going to give up that position easy. John Ross trying to clear Truskowski, but Truskowski going to get the run down the straightaway. It looks like Ross is going to clear him this time, as well as Josh Edmonds. Truskowski made a mistake there. Looks like he may have gotten that car just a little bit out of shape, and that's going to allow Edmonds and Ross to capitalize. Truskowski back to 6th, Ross to 4th, Edmonds to 5th. Seth LaCroix now setting his sights on Joseph Truskowski. And David Joyner going to lose 3rd place to John Ross now. And John Ross has the speed. Ross about a second back from the leader, 0.3 of a second back from Alex Pelican. And looking at these lap times, John Ross is about 0.3 quicker than everyone else in the field. So he looks to the inside of Alex Pelican now. And Ross back to 2nd. He's got a sight set on Dawson Price. We look at the lap time comparison. Dawson Price slower the last 4 laps, but he's going to pick up the paces. John Ross clears Alex Pelican. Now 40 left to go in this one. And Dawson Price looks like he's going to pick up the pace here, seeing John Ross in his rear view and closing fast. Looks like he overdrove that last corner. You see John Ross trying to close that gap. And Ross faster that time by 7/100ths of a second. These guys look to be about equal. Dawson Price, though, got to keep a cool head here and not make any mistakes to allow John Ross to get back up to him. Back of the pack, Seth LaCroix has caught Joshua Edmonds, his teammate, and looking for a way by him as Edmonds is checked up behind David Joyner, trying to find a way around that 85. And LaCroix the faster car here. Not by much though. He's got to find a way around these two. While all this is going on, the leader's opening up that gap. Dawson Price just slightly faster than John Ross that last time by. And John Ross going to pull it down pit road here. So we talked about that pit window being open. John Ross, the first one to come down pit road. And it looks like Dawson Price is going to come down right after him. Need a good entry to pit road here. And here comes Seth LaCroix and Alex Pelican as well. David Joyner going to stay out, as well as Joshua Edmonds, Tristan Haynes, Dave Mayberry still out. And Cooper Liardi in that 7 car staying out as well. Liardi now up to 5th. Dawson Price still yet to get to his pit box. John Ross pulling back out onto the track, trying to get that car up to speed. Alex Pelican being penalized here, too fast on pit road. Dawson Price is off of pit road, but John Ross going to get back by Dawson Price. Nicholas Warner now coming down pit road. It's David Joyner going to stay out here. And if I'm David Joyner at this point, I'm going to stay out as long as I can. Hope for another caution. Still 9 cars yet to pit under these green flag conditions. Those tires are have got to be going away as Cooper Liardi and Tyler Green now going to come down pit road. We go back to David Joyner here. He is pulled away from Joshua Edmonds. Tristan Haynes, Dave Mayberry now coming down pit road as well. Mike Hill will join them. Jonathan Dominics, he's going to stay out for at least another lap. Dawson Price, looking at the lap comparison between him and John Ross. Dawson Price 0.3 of a second faster that last time by. Looks like his blinking issues are continuing here. So Dawson is trying to close back in, but he's got about 2 seconds to make up on John Ross. As Joyner and Edmonds still going to stay out here. Only David Joyner, Josh Edmonds, and Jonathan Dominic still have yet to pit. John Ross looking to get his lap back here. He has the leader in his sights. He's got those fresh tires. Should make quick work of David Joyner. So John Ross going to get back on the lead lap. Dawson Price coming as well. And the caution is out. So Dawson Price will be in the lucky dog position. It's going to lead. And this will be David Joyner and Josh Edmonds' chance to come down pit road, as well as Jonathan Dominics. I think Joyner might be out of gas. Caution is going to wave on lap 121. And we'll go back, take a look, see what happened to Tyler Green here. We see him out here all by himself. He makes contact with that outside wall. And he's just too fast getting back to the gas, and he's going to send himself around. So John Ross back on pit road, going to get some fresh tires on that 44. And looks like he's got the smoke 'em if you got 'em attitude here. Dawson Price is going to get his lap back, but he will have to start at the rear of the field. So we get ready to reset the field. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly low, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back, folks. The pace car is off. Green flag is out. David Joyner leading them to the green flag. John Ross to his outside, restarting in second. Ross on these fresh tires as well. And Joseph Truskowski and Tristan Haynes being shown the black flag. Looks like they passed before the start and finish line. That is a costly mistake. They're going to have to pull it down pit road. Is John Ross going to work to the inside of David Joyner? And the battle for the lead is on. Only 22 laps left to go in this one. Ross not clearing Joyner yet, but it looks like he's going to get him through this next corner. Joyner going to tuck in behind John Ross and trying the crossover move. Joyner's going to cut that dog leg. Not enough there to hold on to that lead position. So John Ross in first, David Joyner in second, Josh Edmonds in third, Jonathan Dominics in fourth, Dawson Price rounding out your top five. And that is an unfortunate series of events for Dawson Price. He just need to get out in front of the leader to get his lap back. Unfortunately, and the caution is out. So that is going to change things. Now 10 cars left on the lead lap. Looks like Cooper Liardi caught up in this one. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened with Cooper. And Liardi just getting loose coming off of the corner, and he's going to put that car nose first in that outside wall. A hard hit. So now Jonathan Dominics and Dawson Price going to pull it down pit road. John Ross, David Joyner, Josh Edmonds all going to stay out. So we were just talking about the series of unfortunate events for Dawson Price. Unfortunately not able to get his lap back before the last caution. But another caution comes out. That's going to give Price a chance to come down pit road and get some fresh tires put on that car. So Truskowski down pit road as well. Tristan Haynes. So if things hold true, it looks like Dawson Price has the potential to restart here in 7th as he comes off of pit road. And looking at the pit stop lap, John Ross. Last pitted lap, 125. So he's got some wear on these tires. Dawson Price, first car on fresh tires. We're going to keep an eye on him here on this restart. You see him trying to work some heat into the tires there so he can go. So the lights on the pace car are out. They're still trying to get this field reset here. And the pace car is off. John Ross in control of this restart. He's got to be careful not to spin his tires again. He's already made that mistake once. And it's in the back of his mind right now. That fear of spinning those tires again. Got to be playing in David Joyner's hands. He's got an opportunity to try and get out in front of John Ross. But Ross, with the perfect restart, he is out to the lead. As Josh Edmonds looking to the inside of David Joyner now. And the battle is on for second. Dawson Price getting their caution. Caution is going to wave. Yellow flag is out, our 11th caution of the night. Gonna come out here on lap 36. This one involving Joseph Truskowski. You see Joseph Truskowski looking at the inside of 29 there. It looks like he just got himself loose there. Doesn't look like any damage to that 57 car, so he's going to live to fight on. That's going to shake things up front. So now John Ross still our leader. David Joyner in second. Josh Edmonds in third. Dawson Price will restart fourth. Seth LaCroix in fifth. We're going to step away for a commercial. One more quick commercial break before the end of this one.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash into turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are getting ready to turn the lights out on the pace car and double these guys up. Row 1 will be John Ross, David Joyner, Josh Edmonds, and Dawson Price on row 2. Seth LaCroix and Tristan Haynes on row 3. And all eyes are on Dawson Price in that 24 car right now. You see him still trying to work some heat into those tires. He's got about 5 lap fresher tires as far as green flag laps go than John Ross. Their times were about equal before. He's also got the help of 2 teammates to his inside. Look for them to get out of Dawson Price's way and let him take a run at that 44 of John Ross when we go back green flag racing here. And that pace car is off. And the green flag is out. We are off. John Ross getting a good restart there. And we talked about Dawson Price's teammates trying to help him out. I don't think Seth LaCroix got the message there. You saw Seth LaCroix getting right up underneath Joshua Edmonds' rear bumper. Dawson Price unable to go low, and the caution is going to wave yet again. Looks like Eric Rodeman and Cooper Liardi involved in this one. Rodeman in that 96 car. It looks like Cooper Liardi just going to come down and catch him up there. Very unfortunate for Eric Rodeman. So no change in the top 5 here. John Ross still your leader. David Joyner will restart in second. Josh Edmonds in third. Dawson Price going to restart fourth. And Seth LaCroix rounding out your top 5. You see Joseph Truskowski has made his way back up to 7th after his self-spin. And time is winding down now. Only about 8 laps left in this one. And right now, what we're looking at, I think about probably the only person that's really got anything for John Ross is that 24 of Dawson Price back there in 4th, but he's going to need some help from his teammates if he wants to get up to the front. Price really needs to be starting on that inside row if he wants to get to John Ross. That outside line on these restarts just does not have it tonight here at Phoenix. We've seen them struggle all night long trying to restart from that outside line. So they are doubled back up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. And it will be 6 to go when the green flag drops. You see Joyner hanging back behind John Ross. Green flag is out. And Dawson Price, not the restart he needed. Joseph Truskowski was able to work to the inside of him now. You see Price there on that outside line. John Ross jumping out to that lead. 7 laps to go. There's David Joyner running second. Here comes Josh Edmonds looking to his inside. Dawson Price now finally getting clear here. Trying to work that outside line, but he's all the way up against the wall. He's got to get out of that throttle. You can see the marbles on the track there on the broadcast. He got in there, losing the grip on the tires. Price dropping back to 7th. And Seth LaCroix in the outside wall. 5 to go. Looks like he might have, I think Jonathan Dominics may have caught a piece of that too. So Tristan Haynes with that is going to go to 4th now. Alex Pelican back up to 5th. So you see Dawson Price jumping out of line, trying to get to the inside of Alex Pelican. And Josh Edmonds up in the wall now. As Tristan Haynes has gotten to the inside of Josh Edmonds. Now down to 3 to go. Haynes trying to clear Edmonds. John Ross with a wide lead here, 91 or 0.9 tenths of a second. And Tristan Haynes is going to clear Josh Edmonds as well as Alex Pelican. Dawson Price now working his way around Edmonds as well. Down to 2 laps to go. John Ross, now a second gap between him and David Joyner. And the white flag waves. Next flag will end the race. Ross in firm control of this one. David Joyner, nothing he can do. It's Tristan Haynes currently running 3rd. And one more corner, all John Ross needs. And he will get through it cleanly. John Ross going to take home the checker flag tonight. David Joyner going to finish 2nd. Alex Pelican in 3rd. And we have a car turned around. That is a 16 of Joseph Miller coming to the finish there. Joseph Miller getting turned by Tyler Green. At the end of this one. Not sure what that was about. Tyler Green was involved in one earlier on here. So going back, trying to see what happened with Tyler Green and Joseph Miller, but that honestly looked like maybe some retaliation from Tyler Green at the end of this one. And Mike Hill going to do some celebrating. Once again, his work schedule has changed. He's not going to be running the Cup Series anymore. We will still be able to see him on Wednesday nights in the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. But he's going to burn it down to end this one. Lee LaCroix entering the chat saying it was a great race. It definitely was. We do have to get through our interviews here, and we're going to kick them off with the 13 of Alex Pelican. We get him moved up to the booth. Alex, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. Congratulations on a 3rd place finish here tonight. You've shown speed week in, week out here in the Era Cup Series, but I think this is our first time talking to you. Yeah, we talked a lot about you the first 2 races, maybe not so much this race. What was the key to that 3rd place finish here?
Oh, I mean, it's basically just gathering back up what I pretty much gave away. Sped on that green flag stop there, I think running 4th, and had a 40-second hold. So ended up going 2 laps down, got 1 back at the wave around, and got the lucky dog. And then was able to put on tires there that last caution, so that helped a ton.
All right, and we've been talking about tires all night tonight. It seems like how important were new tires? It seemed like the fall off was coming pretty quick on those.
I mean, if I feel like if you raced somebody on old tires and you had new tires and they had old tires, I mean, it was huge.
All right. Well, we're going to let you get on out of here and celebrate this third place finish. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out everybody that runs the league that puts this on, and you for broadcasting. Want to thank Bird Wraps for awesome paint on the car. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, man. Congratulations again on a podium finish. We will see you back here next week. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And once again, that was the 13 of Alex Pelican coming home third tonight. We're going to go ahead and move on to our second place finisher, David Joyner. We get him moved up here, and I am still getting used to the chat rooms in their Discord. But we've got David Joyner in the booth with us. David, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
All right, man. Congratulations on a second place finish. And I tell you what, this has got to be a tough one, or a hard fought second place finish. We watched you leading the race, staying out when everyone else pitted under green. What was your strategy there?
Well, with Edmonds being right behind me in points, my goal was to keep him from getting the lead lap point. So it all worked out with caution coming out and keeping that track position to where I can get second. I didn't think I would get a top 3 this race because I wasn't really all that great, but the track position definitely helped.
It definitely looked like track position did help. We were watching a few of the drivers behind you, namely that 24 of Dawson Price. Once he got out to the lead, it seemed like no one was catching him, even John Ross when he powered back through the field. But then a mistake on pit road looked like it cost him a position, and then that caution right before he was able to get his lap back really hurt him. How important was that track position, being able to hold on to second here?
It was important, but also knowing what lines to run and stuff like that, definitely, for sure. And trying to find clean air was definitely premium.
And speaking of what lines to run, we were watching that top line throughout the restarts here. It seemed like that top line was really struggling on the restarts. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, to get it going, it's just the leader on the inside just has that whole track. He can instantly cut it down, and for me running single monitor, it's kind of hard to look left and keep looking straight and looking behind you on the restart to figure out where everybody's at, especially coming through the dog leg. So it was definitely difficult, but getting to turn 2, the top line in turn 2 was definitely quick. So
all right, well, we're going to let you get on out of here and celebrate that second place finish. Before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
Appreciate my family and friends for watching. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And once again, that was David Joyner coming home in second tonight. We're going to move on to tonight's winner, John Ross. John, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
I've got a copy.
All right, man. Congratulations. If I'm not mistaken, this is your first official race in the Era Cup Series.
That is correct, yes.
All right. I believe we've seen you a couple times here on the Rebel Racing Network before, but what a way to start here with a win in a dominating fashion, too.
Yeah, it was a good race. I really enjoy Phoenix. It's really nice because it's flat, and you've got to do quite a bit of trail braking, and it's a little bit different than most of the other tracks. So I do enjoy it, and yeah, it was a good run, except for maybe the quick shift on that one restart. But outside of that, yeah, it was a good race.
All right, and yeah, we did catch that restart where you looked like you started in first gear and forgot you were in first gear there. What exactly happened?
Yeah, so it just I use a paddle shifter, and I think it just might have, because you have to blip the throttle when you go and downshift, and it just didn't shift right there. So then it just popped in a second. All of a sudden, it just spun the car out. So yep, definitely my fault. Pretty embarrassing to be from the lead and do something like that, but it is what it is,
Well, and I tell you what, we were kind of counting you out, knowing you were going to have to go to the back of the field there after that one. And then it seemed like we blinked and you were back racing for second. Take us through that drive back up to the front.
Yeah, I think I had to start. Shoot, I can't remember. It was about mid pack, and really a lot of people were working the mid to high line. They're going into the first and seconds, or well, I guess it'd be 3 and 4. And I just ran really low, and it allowed the car to rotate very well in the center. And when it was rotating in the center, and I can get underneath of someone, they couldn't cut down like they normally had. So I was kind of still in their line on exit. And then when you do that, if you've got that inside line coming to the start line, it's just such a dominant line that if you can get beside of somebody coming down that backstretch, I think you've got it. So it was just really trying to be patient. And then once I took second, I was a little bit quicker than Dawson, but I think I burned my tires up too much. I don't think I was going to get there. So that's when I just hopped into the pits, and then kind of the rest from there.
All right. Well, it has paid off, and you took home the checkered flag tonight. Anyone you want to thank before we let you get on out of here and start the celebration?
Yeah, first of all, you here at Rebel Racing, we certainly appreciate everything that you do and putting these things on. I know it's a difficult task, so thank you very much. And to all of the admins, owners here of the league, AERA, really want to say thank you and really putting these things on, because again, these leagues are really hard to put together as well. And I know just from talking to Seth and Dawson, I know those guys want competitive racers, competitive drivers out here, and they're building something really special. And last but not least, just want to say thank you to all of my teammates over at Elevated Performance. So they put in the practice time with me, and we put in a lot of time to make some of these races. So got to give a shout out to those guys too.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations again, and we will see you back here next week at Charlotte. Have a good night.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and once again, that was John Ross taking home the win here tonight. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results. And once again, John Ross taking home the win. David Joyner finishes second. Alex Pelican in third. Dawson Price will finish fourth. Tristan Haynes in fifth. Josh Edmonds finishes sixth. Joseph Truskowski will come home seventh. Dave Mayberry in eighth. Mike Hill will finish ninth. Nicholas Warner finishes 10th. Jonathan Dominics will finish 11th. Seth LaCroix in 12th. Cooper Liardi finishes 13th. Joseph Miller in 14th. Eric Rodeman will finish 15th. Tyler A. Green comes home 16th. Nick Hames will finish 17th. Hunter Geyer finishes 18th tonight. In 19th, we had Wesley Carter. Omar Rodriguez Jr. will finish 20th. Connor Price in 21st. Ben Smith Sr. will finish 22nd. Russell Abbott finishes 23rd. And James Hartley will round out your field in 24th tonight. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Make sure you guys are back here next Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Era Cup Series live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it is USA night, so they will have their patriotic paint schemes on. But before that, this Wednesday evening, we will have the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live from Talladega. You do not want to miss that. Those guys have been working hard practicing for Talladega in the O'Reilly Auto Parts car. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you have not done so already, please hit that like, follow, subscribe button wherever you are watching on Facebook and YouTube. And guys, stay tuned because we are going to have our TikTok going live, and we are going to need all our fans' help to be able to bring these live races to TikTok in addition to Facebook and YouTube. So stay posted on that, and make sure you guys are watching the YouTube and my Twitch. If you want to come hang out with the broadcaster while I turn a few laps and try and make my return to the track and come out of retirement. So we'll be working on trying to get a schedule for that going once my work schedule allows for that. But thank you guys again for tuning in, and we will see you back here Wednesday evening.